I'm staring at a puppy only a few months old, frightened, alone, covered in feces, sitting in a cardboard box. He has parvo. He reminds me of my first dog. I cry and hold this puppy close, disregarding the bile matted to his coat. I know there is not much life left for this dog. His owners seem unfazed by their soon-to-be loss. I am disgusted and hurting for this puppy, never fully loved, life cut short by neglect. At this moment it was confirmed. Animal care was my passion, my higher calling, my purpose in this life. And no matter how far life threw me off track, I would never give up on my ambitions. As a young child, I had a noticeable love for animals. My poor mother was always up rescuing baby animals I needed to save. On one occasion, I brought home what I thought were abandoned baby bunnies. I hid them from my mother in my closet, and needless to say, my cat found them. Another time, I brought home a stray cat, and of course, was caught again. After 3 days in the animal shelter, my father decided that we could give him a home. As a second grader, I had two best friends who had the same love and passion for animals that I did. During one whole summer, we decided to put our ambitions to the test, and we decided to raise money for the animal shelter. From walking dogs, to selling lemonade, to pet sitting, to even throwing in our own allowance, we managed to raise $300 for the animal shelter. I don't know about you, but $300 was a lot of money to me when I was a kid. I remember how proud of ourselves we were, rightfully so. We took all our change and hard-earned money and scrounged it up and took it to the bank and exchanged it for $300 bills. We wrapped each one individually with the ribbon and put it in a basket and presented it to the animal shelter. All of our hard work had paid off. We had made a difference. I had gotten a taste for my passion of helping animals. But life had different plans for me. I had a number of life-altering traumas that happened to me on the cusp of adolescence. It took the child from me and brought forth an emotional lost teen. I began to run with the wrong crowd, act out, skip school. I started experimenting with marijuana and alcohol. In an effort to get me back on track, my mother arranged for me to volunteer at the animal shelter. I enjoyed my time there being with the unwanted animals. So many older or misunderstood dogs and cats that I was able to give all my love to. I felt like I had a purpose. My time at the animal shelter was short. Life as an emotional teen strayed me from my path. As a young adult, my mother helped me once again reconnect with my passion. She pushed me to apply for a job as a receptionist at Bright Eyes and Bushy Tails Emergency Vet Service. What could hurt? Might as well try. To my surprise, I received the job, and my love for animal care grew even more. I saw things that made me cry, tears of sadness and tears of joy. I was able to work there for a year at the age of 19 and learned so many new things, and even almost was going to go to school through my job. But once again, life had different plans for me. I wanted to have fun and be irresponsible. I left the industry and ended up going down a long, slippery slope of drug addiction and alcoholism. I fell hard and I fell fast. I was like a heavy rock sinking to the bottom of the deepest oceans. But that rise was beautiful and with full force. Almost 4 years ago, I made one of the hardest decisions of my life. I began a road to recovery from heroin. I kicked the habit for good. Now, it was time to get my life back on track. I moved into my sister's basement and struggled with my mental health for quite some time. I reached out and started therapy and my medication's back up. I found a home and a stable job, but I was on my way to happiness, but I knew I wanted more. When COVID came around, it set in place some unexpected opportunities. The idea of school popped it back into my head. I mistakenly told my mother about this, and she ran with it at full force. I feared the idea of going back to school. It led me to tears on many occasions. I didn't want to fail, but in the end, I knew I had to try. I took the control from my mother and started pushing forward on my own. I am currently a part-time student with a full-time job and a second job cleaning apartment buildings for my rent. I have never been so exhausted in my life, but my drive and determination are stronger than ever. I know what I want, and I am out to achieve my goals. Has the pursuit to follow my dreams been extremely difficult? Yes. But I know that no matter how small of an impact I make on this world, on one animal's life, I know it was all worth it. I may have lost my way from going from a wide-eyed child to a lost wreck of an adolescent to a trying adult doing their best in this chaotic world. But in the end, I never lost sight of what truly called to me, what I truly felt I could contribute to this world. I'm petting Bella for the last time, a German Shorthair caught in a house fire. Her last set of bandages have been removed and her burns are all healed up. I will never forget the feeling in my heart watching her prance out the door for the last time, a healthy and happy dog. And that is what it's all about.